Man, I always knew the Red Baron was a real person, but I never knew much about him. If only there was some kind of informational YouTube video about him. Roll intro. Today we're going to learn about Manfred Von Richthofen, but today we're going to call him Manny for short. Before we get into Manny's life, we must first analyze the world events leading up to World War I. Don't worry, I'll try to make it quick. Rome! It collapsed, or more accurately, split in two, and so there was an Eastern and Western Empire. The East turned into the kingdom of King Charlemagne, and when he died, he split it among his three sons. Two of the sons immediately ate the middle son's land. Siblings, am I right? Okay, I'll stop. The eastern of the remaining two kingdoms became the Holy Roman Empire. It took up most of Central Europe and would go on to be Germany. It was made up of a bunch of different countries and principalities inside of it, and in fact they're all... Okay, we don't have time for this! One day a short Frenchman came in and dismantled the empire, so all the states inside it became independent countries. Keep an eye on this one. His name is Prussia, and he's going to eat everyone else and become the German Empire. And completely change the balance of power in Europe. Long story short, just imagine that the two biggest jocks in your class have been arguing for years over who's stronger, and the scrawny kid in the corner comes back after summer break completely jacked and beats one of them up and is showing the other one how much bigger their muscles are. So let's zoom in and focus on the star of today's show. Manny was born in Kleinburg on May 2nd, 1892. He was part of the nobility there, left over from all those Holy Roman principalities. His official title was Freiherr, or Free Lord. However, it's the German equivalent of a baron. In his early life, he enjoyed all sorts of sports like horseback riding, hunting, and surprisingly, gymnastics. He was really freaking good at it too. He won a bunch of awards for it when he was in school. When Manny was 11 though, he went to military school, which I imagine went a little something like this. Okay son, we are going to send you off to military school. We are Prussian, so we kind of have to. But Vater, I don't want to do that. I want to be a gymnast and world-renowned. You will be a good German and join the army! Well, at least I'm not like that Hitler boy. He wants to be an artist. He'll never go to do anything. On that, son, we can agree. Manny graduated military school in 1911 and joined a cavalry unit. This was a fairly common thing for children of the nobility joining the military to do. Enter a man named Gavrila Princip who shoots heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Franz Ferdinand, and starts World War I. In the opening of the war, Manny was a reconnaissance officer. He would be on horseback scouting the area and enemy positions. However, as the brutality of trench warfare made itself clear, cavalry became kind of irrelevant. Manny's regiment was disbanded, and the members became messengers and errand boys. However, Manny was unhappy with this and wanted to fight. So he joined the air service, and many have credited him with this quote on his application, quote, "I have not gone to war in order to collect cheese and eggs, but for another purpose." If that's not a German quote, I don't know what is. For the first few months of his airman career, he was basically doing the same stuff as his cavalry days, but in an airplane. He was a co-pilot to a man named George Zoomer. Yes, his name really was Zoomer. He would go on to teach Manny how to fly solo. Manny was later transferred to fight in the ongoing Battle of Champagne, where he unofficially got one of his first kills. He shot down a French plane from his co-pilot seat, but the French plane fell behind Allied lines, so the kill couldn't officially be confirmed. Now, when Manny was first learning to fly solo, he was a perfect example of beginner's failure. When he first flew a plane, he crashed to the ground and struggled to control his aircraft in later flights. However, he kept at it and soon became a lot better at flying. Finally, halfway through the war on September 17th, 1916, Manny made his first confirmed kill. It's baby's first kill, everybody! He gunned down British pilot Tom Rees, and according to Manny's autobiography, quote, "I have honored the fallen enemy by placing a stone on his beautiful grave." Yeah, this episode's going to give you some mixed feelings. For his first 60 kills, yes, 6-0, he contacted a jeweler in Berlin and had a silver cup engraved with the date of the kill and the type of enemy aircraft. I don't know if he took them all home, but could you imagine what would happen if Manny was one of those coworkers who hates when you use their cup? Right, who used mein Cap? Which one? Sapvis Kamal. Manfred, you have like 6 of those. Ah! Okay, I'll stop. Manny was nearly shot down in March of 1917 when he received some rounds through the fuel tank. He was able to land and make it out okay. What followed is Manny going through like 3 aircrafts before finally setting on an Albatross D-3. Manny then received his famous plane, the Fokker Doctor 1 triplane, in July of 1917, just over a year before his death. He only racked up 19 of his 80 confirmed kills in this plane, which is weird. It's like how everyone pictures Abraham Lincoln with a beard, despite him only having one the last 4 years of his life. Anyway, Manny penned his autobiography in 1917, and by early 1918, Manny became a hero to the German people, and German high command began to believe that should Manny die, it would be a crippling blow to German morale. This wasn't without merit. British squadrons were raised for the express purpose of killing Manny, along with an immediate Victoria Cross to anyone who kills him. The Victoria Cross is like the British Medal of Honor. On April 21st, 1918, Manny would get into a dogfight with a Canadian pilot named Arthur Brown. This would be his last. During the flight, he received a single bullet through the chest, severely damaging his heart and lungs. Upon being hit, Manny's aircraft stalled and fell to the ground. The undercarriage of the plane was shattered upon hitting the ground and the fuel tank flew out. Upon examination, Brown found Manny with a broken nose and jaw as Manny's face slammed into his machine gun upon being shot. The Australian Flying Force was the nearest Allied Air Force group and assumed responsibility of recovering the body and aircraft. Earlier I said that the man who shot Manny down would be issued an immediate Victoria Cross. However, with all things related to war, this soon became complicated. The RAF officially credited Arthur Brown with shooting Manny down. However, over the years, many ballistic experts, historians, and doctors agree that Manny was actually gunned down by an anti-aircraft battery on the ground. Furthermore, Brown was suspiciously quiet about the incident afterwards, saying, quote, "There is no point in me commenting, as the evidence is already out there. Very sus." It's widely suggested that Sergeant Cedric Popkin, an Australian machine gunner who was in the perfect position to hit Manny at the right angle and at the right time, did it. Regardless of who hit Manny, it was over. Major David Blake was responsible for Manny's body and regarded it with great respect. Manny was buried with a full military funeral at a cemetery in Bertangles, France. His body was later moved to a military cemetery at Fricourt by French authorities. In 1925, Manny's youngest brother, Bolko, moved the body to that cemetery in Berlin at the request of the Weimar government. Manny was given a state funeral and was later given a memorial ceremony and massive tombstone by the Third Reich. His tombstone was later damaged by Soviet bullets shooting down escapees that were trying to get to West Berlin. However, Manny's final resting place would be at a Richthofen family grave plot in Wiesbaden. Manny's legacy had a great impact on the West and its culture. From cartoons to metal songs, Manny's legacy as a cool, daring, dastardly, mysterious pilot will forever be remembered. Okay, outside the video, a band called Sabaton made an absolutely amazing album about the Great War. They even have a song about our boy Manny. Link is in the description, and I'll play my favorite little snippet for you right here. Have a listen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.